This is Fulkerson Winery, back 40 disc golf course in the Finger Lakes. This is hole 1. The winery is to your left, the parking lot. Good shot by Rob, good putt by Paris. This is hole 2. I don't have a lot of video of hole 2. Wasn't zooming in yet. This is hole 3, and it's very similar to hole 2. In this one you've got the vineyard on your right. A good shot by John. Here's Paris. A great drive. It's going over the vineyard. Oh! Is it going to be safe? It is. It actually was safe. Just outside of the vineyard. Bam! Great putt. Alright, here we are at hole 4. This one, it can be pretty gettable. You can get a birdie on it because it's a pretty short hole, but there are these trees right in the way. You've got to do a pretty difficult shot shape. The video doesn't capture it too well, but John's right up there. That was a great shot. There's the basket. Alright, here we are at hole 5. Definitely another tough one. A lot of trees to hit. The basket is up there on the right, but you've got to avoid a lot of trees. There's John trying to throw it into my bag. He's practicing his scoobers at this point in the round. Here is hole 6. Gotta throw it over this hill. Basket's down there, perched up on another hill. Great shot by Paris. Can Cliff get through? Good shot by Cliff. He'll have a good look at the basket. You try to run these putts. Doesn't always work out. There's me. Really bad throw by me. I actually usually do better. Not as good as this one by Cliff, though. Here's Rob. Great shot. I didn't really have the basket. There's the basket. Yep, he went very close. Paris also here with a great one. Paris with a putt. Doing some great putting with that Adam. Here's Rob with an MVP, boys. Here is hole 7.5. The blue tee pad. You can't really see where the basket is. This video is probably going to confuse you more than anything. This part of it, at least. There's me. I got the flick up there pretty well. Paris gets down there. So we are throwing at the basket for 8 right now, and now we will go up to, this is the actual tee pad for 8. We filmed this over a couple of days, so that's why you'll notice some snow on the ground in some shots and not in others. It was just one day and then the next day, but great shot by Paris. Here's John throwing the flick. I think he's throwing a Firebird. Just try to throw something stable that hyzers towards the basket before it goes into the woods. Here's Cliff. He ends up in the fairway. That was Paris's putt for birdie there. And there was Cliff. So here's hole 9. Great drive. Another birdie look. Rob's throw looks great. A little bit higher, floating. Loses momentum, falls a little bit short. So nice to be at Fulkerson's. And this winter we've been able to play a ton. And we've got less foliage and all that stuff, so we've got some more open lines. This is the drop zone. If you do end up going into the woods or into these vineyards. I oftentimes try to bounce it off of that shed. Nice to have that shed right there next to the basket. Make it a little bit easier to get par. And then you've got the hike up to hole 10. And down there is the beautiful lake. You can get some better views of it here on this side of the course. The back 9. Great drive by John. That bounced up there. 10 is a tough one to get birdies on. Also a great drive there. Cliff laying it up for par. And it doesn't get much easier. Here's hole 11. It's a tunnel shot. A lot of days this is really tough. I've got this left side line that opens up a little bit when there's less foliage that I take. Not great. And so this is actually a par 4, so I didn't get some footage in there, but now here is hole 12. Got the basket straight up there, but so many trees in the way. Oh, there I was filming myself. The basket is just inside these like kind of arranged pieces of logs. Some logs in there kind of forming a backstop. John hits that log off camera. Great shot shape here from Cliff getting around that tree. This is a par 3, but a lot of times it can feel like a tough one because there's so many trees that you can hit in your approach. Yep. And then here is lucky hole 13. I mean, this is really not a difficult shot, but why can't I just go down the middle? It's tough. It's tough to get birdies on this par 3 also. Kind of a difficult shot shape, but it's also very basic. It's very gettable. It's a fun hole. It's a good kind of challenging. Alright, now we're out to possibly the most beautiful hole 14. Great shot by Paris here. Gets it way down there, lands in the middle. It's a pretty long hole. It's a par 4. But you can definitely get yourself in the woods there, or you can go in the vineyard, so it can be a challenging one. Alright, 15. be able to see the basket is kind of down there on the edge of the hill, kind of precariously. Most of us land with a death putt. Cliff gets down there but has a death putt. John was really going for it here. He wanted to be putting from down the hill. Still kind of a scary spot. Paris just throwing a crazy big hyzer. Wind is always a factor here. I give myself, I think, kind of a slightly less scary putt because I'm not going totally down the hill, but it was still a scary one. Cliff gets it to stay there by the basket, doesn't get the roll luckily. John practicing his scuba. He was getting some of those. I didn't manage to get it on camera, but... Paris! It's another nice putt there. Alright, now what are we on? 16. This is another one that, I don't know, something about the little tee pad or just something about it gets in your head. It's a short hole, but it can seem challenging on a lot of days. Cliff doing a good job there. My throw's pretty safe up there. Alright, now we are on 17. Some snowy tee pad action. John opts to throw from the side of the tee pad. Gets it to turn over. Hook up, hook up. The tree helps it hook up, sends it towards the basket. That's a pretty good shot. Paris. This is a good throw here. I think I lose it there for a second, but bam, there it goes right past the basket. And here I throw it into oblivion. I mean, that goes down to the highway. Just kidding. You just can't see it. It landed not in too bad of a spot. Another birdie putt for Paris. Hole 18. It's a pretty gettable par 4, especially if you've got decent distance. I managed to get down there with that forehand. Paris can get it down there pretty far. Nice. Right there at the base of the hill. Oftentimes we're throwing from kind of the middle. It's a fun hole though. And you're back to where your car is parked and where the winery is and stuff. And the winery is awesome. And they keep this course really well maintained, and it's so new. I'm just excited for what else they're going to do with it.